Okay, good morning, all of you. So we started this class little late, but we'll continue till the end of this syllabus. So definition of air pollution. Oops, stopped. Presentation stopped, no? Okay, we have discussed the definition of air pollution. Okay, then we have discussed various classifications. Then meteorological parameters we have discussed, and the last part we have decided today to discuss, that is the control of industrial air pollution. So control of air pollution, as I spoke yesterday, that control of air pollution is possible, or it is better to control the air pollution at the source, because once it is emitted into the atmosphere, it is quite difficult to control them by any way. Okay, so that's why it must be controlled at the source. Natural cleansing processes is the first way. What is the natural cleansing processes? Dispersion should be happen. So yesterday, at the time of discussion of meteorological parameters, I told you, so this kind of chimney may be there for any of the industry, and from that chimney, when the fumes of the gases are emitting, so it will be with a pressure, and because of that pressure, it goes some up and then it starts spreading. Then spreading of these pollutants into this residing area is depends upon the wind speed and wind direction, or you can say shortly, depends upon the various meteorological parameters. If wind speed is greater, the dispersion will be greater. If wind speed is lesser, then dispersion will be lesser. Okay. So if dispersion is lesser, this particular area will get infected for long because of longer time exposure. And if dispersion is better, then it is going to be dispersed in a many different area, and that is going to be reduce the concentration of that particular pollutants into the residing area. And the impact of that pollutant will not be observed into the area of the people who are surviving nearby that particular industry. Okay, so that dispersion is an important parameter for the control of air pollution by the natural method. Okay, so that air is blowing naturally, so it comes under the dispersion, comes under the natural cleansing process. Then gravity settling, flocculation, sometimes the particle size is greater, and so because of greater size of the particle, it becomes heavier one, and hence these are starting to settle down at the bottom by the gravity. Okay, then flocculation, multiple times the different types of pollutants are coming together and converting into bigger one pollutant, and because of that action or that phenomena also responsible for the cleansing of the air. Then absorption, adsorption, and precipitation. These factors are naturally helping to control the air pollution emitting from any of the industry or any of the such activities. Then control approaches we can go for. Either we can go to dilute it by installing the tall stacks. Okay, as I have shown recently, in that particular industry, suppose this is the industry, and in that industry there is a emission of air pollutants from the source. So immediately you should not allow to get exposed. You should construct one stack or the chimney, you can say, and from that, at the higher height of the atmosphere, you can allow to expose it. So what happens because of that? It is increasing the tropospheric level, and hence whoever is surviving in this area will not get directly in contact with this. First thing. Second thing, there is a chances to have the dispersion and dilution subsequently in this area. So that's why it is better to go for the having the dilution by constructing the tall stack in that particular industry. Then control at source, as I mentioned, that control should be done at the source. For that purpose, what are the different ways to control the pollution at the source? You can go by use the alternate fuel source. Okay, alternate fuel source in the sense if the impurity of fuel is more, then emission of pollutants will be more. In case of fuel burning engines, like the vehicles, okay, petrol is having less, its purity is greater than the diesel. That's why diesel vehicles are producing more amount of pollutants than the petrol engine vehicles. So alternate fuels. So alternate fuel, if we are talking, in that case, we can go for the CNG, compressed natural gas, which is going to create a less amount of pollution as compared to the petrol and diesel. So likewise, we need to go to select the alternate fuels to control the emission of air pollutants at the source. Then proper use existing equipments, operation and maintenance means, so many of the time we are using the vehicles or the industries or the motors for various purposes, and its maintenance is not being done in a time, and hence the engine is not working efficiently. It is not working efficiently means it is consuming huge amount of fuel than required, means it is emitting huge amount of pollutants from that. So if operation and maintenance is being done properly at a time, on time, then it will also help to control the air pollutants at the source. Then changing processes. What is meant by changing processes? So in that case, you can convert, catalytic converters you can use. Means vehicles are emitting the hydrocarbons as a major source of air pollutant into the atmosphere. Then if you can add a catalytic converter into that particular engine, that will convert that hydrocarbons into simple form of hydrogen, which is not going to be act as a pollutant. Okay, so likewise, catalyst means process should be get enhanced by someone's support, that is known as the catalyst. So that kind of catalytic converter also you can use to control the air pollutants at the source in the vehicles or the industries. Then next, install the control equipments. That is the one of the easiest and effective way to control the air pollution. Then for what type of pollutants you need to construct different types of equipments for the particulate matter control. What is meant by particulate matter? I told you the dust particle is known as the particulate matter. Usually it is being identified as a PM. Okay, particulate matter. So if I have written like this PM to the base 10, then it should be noted that it is a particulate matter whose size is less than 10 micron. Its a size is less than 10 micron. And if I have written here PM 2.5, in that case, I can say it's a particulate matter or the dust particles whose size is smaller than 2.5 micron. Okay, so that much fine particles which are easily get inhaled by us and keep on depositing into the lung, and after some times it starts showing the ill effects on your health. That is known as the particulate matter. Okay, then gaseous pollutants. These particulate matters are in a crystallized form. Okay, but the gaseous pollutants, these are not visible, one thing, and these are going to be affected dangerously than the particulate matter. Particulate matters are depositing into the lung, and if you are facing the cough and cold, at that time also it is getting exiting from your body. But in respect of gaseous pollutant, it is not happening like this. It is impacting on your body for a longer period by staying itself there. Okay, so these types of pollutants you can control by using the different types of equipment in the industry while for the control of air pollution. Okay, then in detail we will discuss what are the different equipments which can be used for the control of air pollutants. Okay, so for the particulate matter there are the different equipments, and for the gaseous pollutants there are the different equipments. So the equipment which is displayed in front of you. Before that, you please note down this. Please note down. Some more point I want to make you to note down, and then I will go to the actual equipments. Please note down. Quickly note down, please, so we can quickly go to the next point. So very interesting equipments are there which can help to control the air pollution at the source. Specifically, if the source is industrial air pollution.
मॅम ओरल कधी होणार आहेत?
ओरल आता उद्यापासून चालू होणार आहेत.
पण टाइम टेबल मध्ये आज होते ना मॅम?
नाही, 14 आणि 15 आहे ना तुमच्या टाइम टेबल मध्ये.
ओके मॅम. ओके ओके मॅम.
उद्यापासून चालू होणार आहे तो ओरल. आपली उद्याच आहे का बघावं लागेल मला. Have you done? If finished, I will go to the next point. I hope you guys completing it with a faster pace. May I assume that you have finished? No reply in the sense what? Okay, let us see control of particulate matter by using one of the equipment, and that equipment name is the gravitational settling chamber. That equipment name is gravitational settling chamber. So what is this gravitational settling chamber? Actually, it is helping to reduce the pollutants whose size is greater than 50 micron. What are these? These types of air pollutants. What type of the particulate matter or what type of pollutants? So first thing you should remember that gravitational settling chamber is applicable for the dry air. Gravitational settling chamber is applicable for the dry air. Second thing you should remember that a gravitational settling chamber is applicable for the removal of particulate matter size whose size is greater than 50 micron, not less than 50 micron. So for bigger size of particles will be removed with the help of particulate gravitational settling chamber. Then velocity of flow in that will be in the range of 0.5 to 2.5 meter per second. Okay, so slowly here you can see here is the inlet. So through which a laden gas in the sense dirty gas which we want to clean will be allowed to enter into this chamber. Okay, will be allowed to enter into this chamber. When it is entering into this chamber, suddenly the size, you can see here, suddenly the size or the diameter of this particular chamber is increasing from this spot. And because increasing diameter, the velocity of flow will start reducing. Due to suddenly decreasing velocity of flow, the particle velocity is also getting slowed down, and because of that, these particles are heavier and suddenly getting slowed down the particle velocity, it starts dropping down at the hopper bottoms provided at the bottom side. These are the two hopper bottoms provided to collect the particulate matter which are going to be settled down into this particular gravitational chamber. Okay, then this the movement of the gas which is coming, it will be in a horizontal direction. Okay, horizontal arrangement of this settling chamber is there. At the inlet, there will be diameter of this pipe will be smaller, and due to suddenly increasing the diameter of the pipe, the particulate matter are becoming heavier, and that starts falling down at the bottom. Okay, this way maximum amount means whose particle size is greater than 50 micron are getting settled down. Remember that this is applicable for dry air. This is applicable for the particulate matter only, not for the gaseous pollution. And then it is applicable for the particulate matter whose size is greater than 50 micron. Okay, and after some time you can remove the particulate matter from the bottom. So likewise, without any moving operation or provided to this, it can be control the air pollution in this particular gravitational settling chamber. It is known as the gravitational settling chamber. So what are the advantages of this? Is the low initial cost, simple construction, low maintenance cost, low pressure drop, dry and continuous disposal. And what is the disadvantage? Large space is required for the large particles. Okay, that is the biggest disadvantage of this. And usually this equipment is being placed at the place when there is no usually this equipment is being used as at the start of control of air pollution. म्हणजे जसं आपण water pollution we saw in a water pollution control, there is a screening chamber is the always first unit operation in the treatment of wastewater. Likewise, in a treatment of gas, there should be the first unit of pressure as a gravity settling chamber. Okay, so this is about the gravity settling chamber. I request everyone to please draw this figure quickly, and then we can go for the next point quickly. Finished, guys? Have you finished? Lectures already. Okay, so have you understood? May I repeat? The gravitational settling chamber is made for the collection of collection of solid particles, or we can say particulate matter from the laden gas, whose size is greater than 50 micron, and then it is usually the first unit operation. Second thing, it is usually the used for the dry air, application of the dry air. Wet air is not allowed here. Okay, then dry air, particulate matter, 50 micron. This is the highlights of this particular equipment. Then gravitational baffle type settling chamber. Gravitational baffle type settling chamber, same. It is a gravitational settling chamber itself. Why we are calling gravitational word is used? Because here no any other equipments we are using, just we are allowing to flow the air in a horizontal direction, and while flowing it in a horizontal direction, because of the weight and mass of this particulate matter, it is falling down by the gravitation. Okay, so that's why in front of settling chamber it is usually used the word gravitational. Okay, so this is horizontal gravitational settling chamber, and this one is the gravitational baffle type settling chamber. Means here you can see dirty gas is inlet coming to this port, and when it is coming to this way, there are the baffles. Means this cloth type structure can be arranged, and because of that the direction of the flow will change like this, and the gas will move in this direction, and while moving in these directions, what happens? Because of that, velocity is getting slowed down, and when it will not be possible to rise the particulate matters up. Air is naturally blowing up, but at that time whatever the particulate matters are there, they start falling down and can be collected at the bottom. So means we are creating one obstacle in the path of this particular flow, air flow. So that way we can control the particulate matter by using the gravitational baffle type settling chamber. Okay, now the next one is the centrifugal collector, or we can say usually the name is cyclone separator. We can say it is a cyclone separator. This equipment is also applicable for the dry air. Okay, remember that this equation is also applicable for the dry air. And here it is very interesting equipment. Okay, it is very interesting way it is. Its function is very interesting. So here you can say it is an inlet. Size of the inlet pipe is very smaller. The laden gas will be allowed to enter into this, and slowly the size of that inlet pipe is getting increased. So in such a way that arrangements are made, because of that what happened, the gas starts whirling. Okay, असा स्क्वेअर मध्ये आपोआप तो फिरायला सुरुवात होतो. We are giving vertex to this particular gas with this natural phenomena. Okay, these kinds of natural arrangements, physical arrangements of this inlet chamber. Now when it is entering into this particular chamber like this, from this spot it is entering into this chamber, and because of this dimensional changes, it starts moving like this and goes down. Okay, that is taking, that gas is being moved towards the bottom side. So pressure is adjusted such a way that it will be moved up to certain height, and then again it starts moving up. So that's why in this figure you are observing there are two vertex. Outer vertex is there. Outer vertex is getting created when the gas is moving down, and inner vertex is getting created when gas is moving up. Okay, so this way there are two vertex will be created with this structural dimensions of this cyclone separator. Okay, then what happens? This is the first phenomena. Because of the dimensional changes of this structure, it is making that gas to move, rotate in these directions. Okay, whirling of the gases starting. First, that whirling will go to the towards the, make them to take towards the bottom, and secondly, once that pressure gets released from that spot, it starts emitting naturally towards the upper side. Okay, tendency of the gas is to go up. So that phenomena starts working once the pressure applied on the gas at the inlet gets released. Now, from that, it starts creating the inner vertex into this chamber. And at this spot, at the center or at the top of this cyclone separator, the gas starts existing. Now, here you can see when it is moving in this direction, okay, it is taking a vertex. So at that time, when it is whirling, that particulate matter starts striking upon the inner wall of this particular cyclone separator. So it starts sticking out. Okay, you can observe these particulate matters are striking upon the inner wall of this particular cyclone separator. And this phenomena, because of this phenomena, the particulate matter are getting starting separated. So because of separation of the particulate matter by applying it on the inner wall of this particular cyclone separator, the gases will become free from the particulate matter. Now we will talk about the highlights of this particular cyclone separator. First highlight is it is applicable for the 5 to 25 micron size particle. Earlier one, settling chamber, it is applicable for the greater than 50 micron particle, and its efficiency is greater than the cyclone separator, and hence it is working for the 5 to 25 micron size diameter of the particulate matter. Then what is the advantage? And it is also applicable for the dry air. There is also no moving parts in this, like this. Then advantages we will talk: low initial cost, simple construction and operation, no maintenance almost because no moving parts are there, and low pressure drop, dry and continuous disposal, no moving parts. And what is the disadvantage? It is applicable only for the greater size, greater diameter of the particle, that is 5 to 25. Here by mistake written 10, 20. It is applicable only for the 5 to 25 micron diameter particle. And severe abrasion. What is meant by abrasion? These particles, particulate matter present into this laden gas, striking upon the inner wall of the cyclone separator, and when it is striking out upon that wall, abrasion of that wall is being performed. Okay, and in turn, after some years, it becomes a weakening. Okay, this is about the cyclone separator. Okay, so I will clear this. So how to draw this figure, I think you understood, or otherwise I will display you the easiest one figure if it is here in this, and if not, I will show you from my another presentation. Okay, is it possible to draw this figure? If not, I will show my sketch. Reply quickly. Ha, Mauli. Is it possible to draw this? Tadekar? Not possible? So simple. You can show the flow of gas in this way direction. All other things are the simple structure outlines. So please draw it. think you might have finished this one. Okay. Okay, if you have finished this one, I request to draw this figure and then I will explain this point. So please draw this one also. It is a spray tower scrubber. What is the use of scrubber and what kind of air pollutants it can be used, that I will explain. Okay, draw this quickly. Have you finished? Scrubber. What is mean by the scrubber? Scrubbers are applicable for the wet gas. Scrubbers are applicable for the wet gas. Means when there is a small particles of the water droplets are present. In that case, these earlier two, that is cyclonic separator and settling chamber, will not work for the removal of gases. So this cyclonic separator and settling chamber both are for the dry gases and for the removal of particulate matter. Now the scrubbers can be used for the control of particulate matter as well as for the control of gaseous pollutants. So scrubber, the name itself is telling you can scrub the liquid, you can scrub the particles in and convert it into the water. Okay, you can convert by using the scrubber may be the liquid as a water, or it may be any chemical you can use. Which gas you want to, suppose I want to convert that oxides of nitrogen, I want to scrub the oxides of nitrogen. In that case, I can apply the acidic solutions because these are alkaline in nature. So I can scrub by applying the acidic solutions. Then if I want to scrub the alkaline acidic solutions, in that case, I can use as a scrub as a alkaline solution. So that way you can scrub the particulate matter as well as gaseous pollutant, or simple water is also effective. Only thing we need to take care that scrubbing liquid should be converted into the fine particles. Means that we need to pass it through the nozzles, so where it is sprinkling and converting into very fine particles. So because of that, what happens? It can come into contact with the maximum amount of particulate matter and the gaseous molecules present into the laden gas or the dirty gas. So here you can see in the scrubber, this scrubber is known as the spray tower type of scrubber. Why we are calling it spray tower type of scrubber? The laden gas is allowed to enter from the bottom. So with the natural phenomena, it will keep on moving in an upward direction. And the scrubbing nozzles are arranged from at the top, and they're sprinkling their water towards the bottom side. Means with the natural phenomena, by the gravity, the particles of the water droplets starts falling down. So this way means the direction of gas is like this. I will show you. The direction of gas is like this. Okay, sorry, direction of gas is like this, and the direction of scrubbing liquid is like this. So when this kind of phenomena is there, at that time we can say it is a counter current. It is a counter current. Okay, and when the scrubbing liquid directions are from top to bottom, and the gas directions are in a horizontal manner, at that time you can say it is a cross current. It is a cross current. And when the directions of the scrubbing liquid and the gas are same, either in a downward way or in an upward direction, at that time you can say it is a counter current. So different kinds of current you can adjust for the removal of particulate matter and gaseous pollutants by using the scrubber. And effectively, very high efficiency will be observed in a counter current, because maximum contact between the particulate matter and gases with this scrubbing liquid is coming into this phenomena. So that's why efficiency of scrubbing will be more in the counter current pattern. Okay, so this is about the scrubbing. In a scrubber, I will like to tell you very fine particulate matter are also getting scrubbed down, as well as it is going to be scrubbed the polluted gases and dropping at the bottom. And from the bottom, you can remove these impurities at the bottom. Okay. So, and here is the Misty eliminator. What is the role of Misty eliminator? So when that liquid is getting scrubbed, and for that purpose, that scrubbing liquid, we have converted into fine particles. Okay. And sometimes because of the blowing of air in an upward direction, some particles will also keep on blowing along with the water. And hence, at that time, it will be, if it is the acid, then acid mist are going to be exit through the exit of this particular scrubbing chamber into the atmosphere. It should not be happen. Means एक pollution कुठेतरी कमी करायला तुम्ही काहीतरी activity करताय आणि दुसरे pollutant emit होत आहेत. It would be like this. So for that purpose, mist eliminator is provided over here. It will not allow to exit the escape the particulate matter or the liquid droplets in through the outlet of this particular spray tower. And why we are calling spray tower? It's a tower-like structure and sprinkling the liquid which we want to scrub. Okay, so that's why the name of this kind of this equipment is the spray tower scrubber. Means different designs we can construct as per our requirement for the control of air pollution. Okay, so this figure you have finished, and this is applicable for the removal of fine particles. Means smaller than, greater than 10 micron particles can be removed by using the scrubbing tower. Means there are different types of scrubber. This is another type of scrubber. So what is this? Wet cyclone scrubber. Okay, so from this the laden gas is allowed to enter, and the phenomena of cyclone is again applied over here. Horizontally the gas is allowed to enter into this chamber, vertical chamber, and because it is entering into the vertical chamber through the horizontal way, it creates the vortex. But in the cyclone separator, we have provided the inlet at the top, and that's why the gas was moving in a downward direction first and then upward direction. But here in this structure, we have provided inlet at the bottom, and that's why the gas is moving in a upward direction directly. So there will not be the double vortex. This is also applicable for the particulate matter control as well as for the control of gaseous pollutants. So at the center here, nozzle is provided. Okay, that sprinkling nozzle is provided, and this is a rotating disc. Okay, and because of that, it is keep on rotating continuously. Okay, and hence it is keep on rotating and sprinkling the water towards the wall of this chamber, and the gas is coming into contact with these fine particles of the liquid, and getting the particulate matters and gas is getting scrubbed down, and the pure gas free from these particulate matter and gaseous pollutants will be allowed to escape through the top. So what kind of current you are observing? What kind of current you are observing? It is co-current. Both are moving in a initial stage upward direction, and then later on water is dropping at the bottom and the gas is moving in upward direction. And this wet cyclone scrubber is applicable for the removal of particulate matter whose size is greater than 2.5 micron. Okay, so I request to draw this figure 2. Okay, you might have finished this one. Now this is a Venturi scrubber. So designs you can change, concept will remain same. As if you are changing the design, its efficiency will change. So here it is the Venturi scrubber. What happens in a Venturi scrubber? Actually, Venturi scrubber helps to reduce the maximum amount of gaseous as well as air particulate matter pollutants. I will show you. So Venturi scrubber, the gas will be allowed to enter from the top. Okay, this is a gas inlet. Okay, and here is the Venturi neck is created. Suddenly, dropping of this diameter changed, diameter is reduced, and because of that, pressure increases. And with of that increased pressure, we can take into advantage by scrubbing, by spreading the scrubbers in a liquid form at this portion. So huge amount of pollutants can be reduced. Throat velocity, almost we are maintaining around 60 to 100 meter per second. So this much high velocity will be generated here into this particular throat or neck. Whereas here it will be less velocity as compared to this portion. And these two boxes are provided to sprinkle the scrubbing liquid with a pressure. So because of that, huge amount of pollutants are getting converted into liquid, and it is scrubbed, and that scrubbed liquid you can collect at the bottom. And efficiency of this Venturi scrubber is greater than 0.5 micron can be removed. Means you can imagine settling chamber was applicable to remove the particulate matter whose size is greater than 50 micron. And whereas Venturi scrubber is effective, its efficiency is to remove the particulate matter greater than 0.5 micron. Okay, so that way you can, sequentially you can apply the different types of equipments for the control of air pollutants at the industry, and you can control the pollutants. In short, we'll see the scrubbers, altogether scrubbers, Venturi scrubber, tower scrubber, then Cyclone Scrubber. All these together, advantages and disadvantages we will discuss. Advantages, all these are in low initial cost, moderate collection efficiency for smaller particles, applicable for high temperature installations, and simultaneous removal of particulate and gases together is performing. Okay, and what are the disadvantages? Power consumption is very high. Maintenance, because we are increasing and decreasing the increasing the velocity of flow suddenly, so there is a power consumption. Maintenance cost owing to corrosion and abrasion, because it is a wet gas collector, wet gas treatment, so there is a possibility to have the corrosion and abrasion too. And it is a wet disposal in the sense, in all these types of equipment, whatever the outlet is getting generated at the bottom, that will be a liquid, including this particulate matter and gas. So that for that purpose, we need to go for the wastewater treatment. So wet disposal is another agenda, another task will be there for when you are using a scrubber for the control of air pollution. Okay. Now this one is the